Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Black Design Collective. My name is Lola Wusu, and we are here with one of my favorite people ever, Angela Dean, one of the original founders of the Black Design Collective, is here with us today. And I'm so excited because you know her from so much legendary work. She is the creator of the Madonna Bullet Bra. She's done countless red carpets. She dresses your favorite icons, from stage to magazine covers to really just everything. She is your favorite celebrity's designer. So Patti LaBelle, Oprah Winfrey, Madonna, Katy Perry, Halle Berry, Paris Hilton, Missy Elliott, so many more. And she has not recently, but she's launched her shapewear line with perfectly complements different body shapes, different body types. It's to your body shape and your body type. I love everything about it. It really is what makes every person, man or woman, feel like it is possible to look good with what they're wearing and who they are and how they feel, and make it look inside and out great. So thank you, Angela, for everything you've done for the fashion design community, for the collective, everything, and welcome again to the BDC Talks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. You know, we started this, at the beginning of the quarantine, right?
So yes, exactly. And I won't forget, this was you. This was your inception. This was all you. And I really appreciate all that you've done, not just for me, but for just the Black Design Collective and the people who are involved. So yes, let's get a little bit into it. You're born and raised in LA. You've
Long Beach.
Oh, Long Beach, yes. And then moved to LA.
Yeah,
I do that. Yes.
Yes. You know better than I do.
So you're a Long Beach native. You've always made your own clothes. You've always had that knack for fashion. I loved hearing the stories of you, making your clothes for school the next day just because you wanted something different for school the next day. Like, I love that. So when was your first moment of, I'm gonna make fashion my career?
Oh my God, probably after I made 100 outfits to wear to school every day and figured it was something that I would enjoy doing for the rest of my life. It was my passion, my hobby, my love. I was constantly creating and I just enjoyed it. It took up all the time, the extra time that I had outside of school and study. And of course, doing other things, but the fashion part of it, I just would look at the Vogue magazines and just recreate. So I got better and better and better. Started at 7 years old sewing and sewed all the way to high school. And when I finally was time to graduate, I told my mom that I wanted to go and become a fashion designer. I'd love to go to college to do that, specifically at the Fashion Institute. And she told me she thought I should go to City College and figure it out.
Which is pretty much what my mom did as well.
I was like, what the heck? I need to go to fashion school. I don't want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or Indian chief. So she finally agreed, and I started the Fashion Institute, and oh my God, that it just was history from that point on.
I love it. So you got your big breaks working with the most amazing celebrities in this. How did you get into working with celebrities? Let's go into that.
Well, first of all, I decided after working downtown in Los Angeles for a couple of manufacturing companies and sewing my oats, where they had me copying, we called it knocking off something. And that meant taking a garment and knocking off and copying it and recreating and doing a little tweak to it. And voila, we have another style. I was mortified. I couldn't believe, that was taking place, that I had went to school. I had a passion for fashion. So I was looking to go hard, Yeah. They say go hard or go home. So I went home because I wasn't able to go hard. So I came out and decided that I made my own niche. I wanted to work with the music and entertainment business and basically cater to them with custom looks. And that was something I wrote on a piece of paper after I decided to leave the fashion industry. And I started designing clothes and doing amazing pieces. And I
Yeah.
had a lot of different friends in the business, you know, styling and doing other things. We were coming on up, you know, as we got out of college and things. So we kept a network with each other. So I was able to actually, you know, get an opportunity where one of them took something. Well, actually, it wasn't that. I'll have to pull back a little bit more to when I left. I started a store in Melrose. I had my own store in Melrose initially. That was the first venture out.
Right.
Then I had to close it because they robbed and stole everything. They found out I was one of the first Black vendors on Melrose. And so I had some horrific situations there. So I had to leave. I finally decided to give up. And when I gave up, I went to start working at a store called Trashy Lingerie, where I was a head designer. And we did amazing lingerie. And that's where I met a lot of my celebrity clients. And that's where actually I did the bullet bra for Madonna. And then from there, I decided to go into my own thing. And the celebrities, one of them, which was Mary Wilson of the Supremes, which we lost, I think a month ago. She passed and I was mortified, but she was one of my first clients that gave me the opportunity to kick off my new company, which was Dean Design, which I took from the store and just renamed it and started doing custom.
I love it. So you had such an amazing career working with just about every legend there ever was.
Yes.
And you've created this platform with styles that not only influenced how other designers created, but styles that influenced how artists felt and how they felt inside of themselves. They exuded confidence when they left your studio, like they were able to be who they were fully. And I love that I've gotten to witness some of it firsthand. But what made you decide, okay, I know how to create clothes, I know how to make people feel amazing, and go into a shapewear line?
Wow. You know, I can't see you anymore. I don't know what happened, but I'm looking at something that is not you. So I don't know if that could be corrected, but I can keep talking.
Hold on.
But it would be great for me to see you. I don't know.
Is it the view?
I'm not sure. I just see just a blank screen says my personal meeting PM.
I see both of you on my screen. Do you see both of us, Lola?
I do.
Okay, so I'm not sure, but anyway, it would be great if I could see you, but anyway, should I just click out of it?
Can you press view on the right-hand corner and then see if it's on speaker view?
I'm just gonna pause the.
So you have had all this success. You've worked with all these legends and all these designers creating looks that made them feel great, that made them look amazing, that were one of a kind, 100% who they were, that not only sparked influence for themselves and who they are as artists, but also influenced fashion in general and trends and whatnot. But what made you decide after all of this that you wanted to start a shapewear line?
Well, I don't know, as many of you know, if you don't know, I know you know as a stylist, the shapewear is the key to the foundation of the outfit. And due to my lingerie experience of working at the store, when I told you about Madonna and I met them, I was doing lingerie, so I learned a lot about the anatomy in the woman's body. And we tried to always, when I got into the entertainment business, starting to dress the celebrities, would have problems with shapewear. We'd have 4 and 5 shapers on one woman, one artist, because we couldn't get the right shape. So you would put one that does the panty thing, one that does smooth the legs. So she's barely breathing, but she's got 5 shapers on, right? And so I had an opportunity one time to share about a shaper line, and PJ Walker which is one of our co-founders and one of my buds, of course. He came to one of the presentations and everybody left and he said, "Now, Angela Dean, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Why are you not going somewhere to do this for yourself? You're selling another product." And I said, "Well, I think the shapers are really good." Make a long story short, that company ended up closing. And I got an opportunity with someone that I had met through a dinner party for someone that was doing shapers. It was here for Dancing with the Stars. I met with them and something said, "Think on your feet," as we always remember to do. And I asked her, "Would you be interested in doing a private label, shapewear concept that I wanted to do for many years?" And she said, "Oh my God, I would love to." So I partnered with that company and was able to go in and create my own shapewear line that was according to the 5 most common body types, which was a reason because no one shaper fits one body type. And I discovered that
firsthand.
Yes. So I created this complicated system that ended up being the most amazing system. I have 5% return. So you can imagine how women have figured out their body type, how to measure their waist and order their shaper. So I created those shapers to make sure that they enhanced all the specific areas that that body type needed and to camouflage the things that they didn't. And it has been very, very a mastermind project of mine that has drove me absolutely crazy. But it goes from size small to 5X. So I cover every spectrum of a woman and I'm so excited about it, but it was due to the need for it. And especially with Black women, we definitely have challenges with our bodies in terms of our weight or the way our body is made. And so I really did concentrate on making sure that I took care of that body shape and all body shapes, but basically we've been catering to the Black woman specifically.
And I can say firsthand, these shapers are amazing.
It
doesn't matter how small, how big you are, it just smooths out and puffs out what you need.
Yes, I remember when you tried on the first one in the office, it was like, oh my God, it changed your tiny body.
Like, look at this waist. That waist. I love it. I love it. So the industry is constantly changing. You've created this unique to a person, but very universally accepted product. Yes. And you've somehow figured out how to not only adapt for people, but you're adapting for the industry. How would you say that your online and retail e-commerce has changed your perspective in business in general?
It has changed my life. Literally, my perspective of fashion and everything has changed. It is about how to create a product that you can sell. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. To create a product you can sell, because selling everyone out there in designer world is important. So I know that we love to be creative and it says go after your passion, and you should. But this was an opportunity for me to really embrace online sales. And I have embraced it with a passion now to see, and this is why I wanted to really share about the transition, is because when you create a product that you can sell directly to a customer, you have a gold mine. And it's a revolutionary thing now today that we don't have to concern ourselves about how many people we have to go to get invest in our products and invest in our businesses. We can start at ground level and grow to unbelievable heights. My daughter did it. I'm so proud of her. I have to say, Miss Tiffany Dean. Yes. She did an online business, which she was a stylist in fashion like myself, and made the transition and has done over $30 million in sales in the past year through a pandemic. So I have seen a whole other level of what can be done when you concentrate on creating a product and getting it to the masses and making sure you have enough of it to reach whoever wants it. So it's creating that supply for that demand.
That's amazing. So what would you say? Like, did you feel like you lost any parts of who you were in terms of your creative outlet? Do you feel like, what mind shift did you have to adopt to make this happen?
Well, the mind shift is called coronavirus when you're locked out. That goes from what we were told was 30 days to 60 to 90 to 6 months. And now we're clocking on a year.
Yes.
There was nothing. I am mainly the bulk of my business is the music and entertainment business. Mm-hmm. So I deal with celebrities that are on stage doing concerts and personal appearances and all that type of thing. So I'm creating the clothes for those events and times. Those events and times were obsolete. It was done. And so I sat here with an empty studio and, meaning my sewers, I had let them go and relax and everything. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I decided to relaunch Shaped by an Angel. So I invested my time and my money in relaunching that because I knew that online would be the future. We were all online, even doing Zooms, and like we are now, normally we'd be sitting in a studio, at FITM or something, right? Recording this, but we don't have to do that anymore. So I wanted to take advantage of that time to see what I could do. And especially with my daughter having the success that she did in that window of time, I knew it was something special about me figuring the heck out, what am I going to do with this product I have?
Yes.
So I was able to spend the time that I wouldn't normally have. So I put the fashion on hold, which everything was on hold anyway in my world. But I am very excited about the fact that I will be returning very soon. But I'm returning in the time when the gates are opening. The people are coming out. I have a girlfriend that told me that she will be at every event when they standing at the door with her ticket. And when she said that, I thought about, oh my God, it's going to get a time literally within the next couple of months that everybody's going to want something to wear. Yeah. And no clothes really out there because they took all the spring stuff and put it in storage. So you'll be getting and wearing all the things that they wanted you to have for last spring. Now you'll be able to buy it. So the point is, that doesn't mean there's anything new under the, new per se. So this is an opportunity to relaunch or to come up with things that would be for right now. And we thought that everything was going to lounge and very casual, which it did, but trust, fashion will return due to the demand of the consumer, because we lost 87% in fashion last year. It was devastating, and I, as a leader in the industry, as somebody who has been able to see trends in business and in fashion, what would you say is something that we should take from this time? And as one of the founders of the Black Design Collective, what do you want the Black designers in the Black Design Collective to know and to feel and to heed in this time where, things are changing, it's about to open up, we have all this pent up, creativity, but, at the end of the day, our bottom line needs to be handled. What is it that you need us to, know? What I would love for everybody to know, that your customer and knowing your customer and knowing how to connect with your customer is probably one of the biggest, most powerful things you can define right now. Due to the fact that being able to connect and sell directly to your customer is the most powerful tool we have. Why? Because normally we would need a store. Now, many of you that are designers that work with retail stores, this is another opportunity for you to not only know your customer and sell to your customer through a website, but also blanket all the online stores, because I believe that a lot of the online stores are going to take over the buildings of the stores that didn't make it. They're going to be retail stores. They'll have flagship places where their store is, but they have the money right now, trust, to be able to take over whatever it is that they need to take over. But it's like a switch, it's like a reset. But that reset has to do with us understanding that we're in a different time, a different moment. make sure that you are making sure that what you're doing does affect your bottom line. Don't just go start just creating because we know people, like we say, the gates are opening.
Yeah.
Define what are you creating, why? Because one thing I did find out with the shapers and manufacturing and selling directly is you have to have stock. You understand? Or you have to find a way that even if you don't have stock, which we're dealing with a lot of sustainability today, I'm reading a lot about that. There's a lot of new and up and coming people that are dealing with, you know, recycling of fabric, sustainable things that we have to realize, because fashion is one of the leading things that have destroyed the earth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be a part of the destruction. We have children to bear and grandchildren.
We want this to continue.
Right. So we can't just destroy the earth over an outfit, right?
Yeah.
That we have for a moment that we throw away. So things need to be made with sustainability, and we need to be focused on how do we define who our customer is, what they need, and what we can provide to them and how. So it doesn't have to be that you need to stock up a lot of things. I'm saying that you need to be able to sell where you know if a customer orders something, you can fulfill the order. And if you have to start baby steps, that means if you have to be a custom and pre-order, do that, but still work to define and know who that customer is, because whether you're going to sell your products to wholesale to other retail stores and online stores, you still need to define that person and be able to communicate that and understand that so you can leverage it on both ends. It used to be that you couldn't have a website and also be in the stores. You understand? They didn't want that. It was like competition.
Right.
But today the fields have opened. We're now available to connect to people globally. And I'm getting orders from Canada, the Bahamas, UK. That's amazing to me when I see those addresses. You know, I can't believe that I've even reached. And when I look at the logistics of where the people are coming into the website, they're coming from all over the world.
Right.
So how is that? Well, that's because I'm continually plugging what I'm doing, making sure they understand the value of the product and how it benefits them, and making sure that I find out also who they are so I can market back to them more things.
So we should focus on, well, you just dropped so many gems. Let me not simplify it. But one of the main things that kept coming up was marketing. And yes, we love to create, but like forgetting the marketing piece, and e-commerce is forgetting everything, is what it kind of feels like you're saying. So focusing on marketing is a huge push because you're seeing the return from that. Is that what
marketing? In the marketing, I haven't even started running ads yet. And I've already sold almost 100 shapers in a month. Like, so meaning when I say that, I'm like watching the numbers and watching the things that we do in order through the marketing, different things. But I've started grassroots, basically just to the core raw, right? And then watching the orders come in so I can evaluate what I did and how it was working. What post did I do, or where did I put an email blast or do an SMS? How did those orders come in? Where did they come from? And one thing about Shopify that's great, having your business on Shopify, they do all these analytics. So now I'm looking at not only from a creative side of what I have to do to market to them, making sure the customer, you know, and you don't want to sell to people all the time either. So I'm trying to provide information, good quality, you know, inspirational things that can transform them and let them know that we're there as a company to help, you know, embrace their growth. So it's a matter of, I do a lot of Instagram, you know, postings. I've learned about how to work with Instagram. Please, whatever you do, if you are involved in social media and marketing and getting your product out, stay updated to what's happening. Because I start plummeting because I was copying and pasting, or having my social media person copy and paste and put hashtags in a comment. You understand? That's a no-no, right? There's certain things that just don't calibrate with the algorithm. So find out what's happening in 2021. Do your research, know what you're doing, and don't get too involved in so many things. I mean, I've had so many apps and so many whistles and bells to do the marketing. But you know what has sold the shapers more than anything that I could create from a marketing is social proof. People saying that they like it, showing pictures of them talking about how they like it, and then having that on my website review.
Yeah.
That sells your product. So there's a lot of things that we have to define from this side of the fence as opposed to additionally to the creative side. If you don't have both, it won't work as well, you know, and you'll be constantly creating, wondering why you're not having sales because you don't understand that you need to be creating to a customer that needs to be sold to.
Yeah. I love all these gems, and I really hope that everyone listening is really taking it in and assessing their own business. I know I am thinking of all the businesses I work with and how it could benefit from all of these gems. I mean, it really goes to show you know your customer, how they like to be marketed to, how they want to be seen, and then what product will actually benefit them at the end of the day so that they do talk about it. I love that. So recently you had a health scare that reprioritized a lot of your ways of thinking and even the trajectory of how you would do business. What is one of the most important things that you learned from this life-changing event that you could share with us?
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. I've been a person that has took care of everything. And I'm not saying I never took care of myself because I'm a woman of, you know, some type of sense, right? But you get very distracted sometimes with things that you're passionate about, things that there's family. There's so many things that we are being pulled with today. And it's very important that we define what is good for ourselves first and then balance our lives from that point out.
Yeah.
Is, you know, I'm from the old school, so it's like grind till you make it.
Yeah.
That is some bull. Yeah, you do have to grind, don't get me wrong. You have to grind smart, you know, and to where you can still meet your goals, but you're not giving up your everything to what you do. And we have seen, and I have experienced so many celebrities and so many people that I love that have left the earth and are not here anymore in the last year, right? That are given such monumental, historical, legendary work to the world, right?
Yes.
They weren't even mentioned on the news. So my point is, and I'm not saying that it's not important to work to be something, to be great and do all you can do. But if you do all that and then it's all in vain in the end because you weren't able to really nurture your own self, yourself, your family, you know, things that are close to you, you kind of put this stuff first. And then you become this monster in a way that just allows you to just keep going and keep going. So the bottom line for me is that I've worked under pressure for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've
seen it.
You know, in working, it's relentless. And I did couture on stage pieces with 50 yards and trains in 3 days and shipped them out on the third day, right? So that's really not sometimes humanly possible, but I did those non-humanly possible things and got had joy in it. Somebody crazy.
It wasn't just one time. It wasn't 2 times. It was weekly.
Weekly. Make the call Angela Dean, she'll have it. But you know what? In the end, I have to reevaluate what was that about. And so I've dealt in that such a high energy, and a lot of things, like I think really affected me more with coronavirus than I thought, you know, from the election to George Floyd. It was just like ongoing. It was like a movie, right? And I'm normally a very strong person, but it did affect my health. And it had to do with blood pressure. And I really realized that blood pressure is that the pressure of your blood, meaning, whoop, you know, if you're doing this all the time. So I had to really reevaluate. I did everything right, like from eating and all this, but I had to reevaluate what is really going on. And what's really going on is it had to do with me.
Yeah.
And turning the pendulum around to say, listen, you're at a point in your life where you need to really sit down and ask yourself, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't be everything to everybody. You can't do everything. I have taken care of the entertainment business for 30 years and people don't even understand the level of what I've given. But it's all in vain if you're not here, right?
Yeah.
So
that is so true.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
If you're not around, how are you going to do the things you want to do?
Yeah, and our mental health is very important because we've been taught to be driven, like I said, and you don't have to work like that anymore. You work smart, not hard. Yes, you have to work hard, but put the smart in front of it first.
That's good.
It'll help the hard a lot better.
That's really good. Put the smart in front of the hard. So you obviously have always continued, or you were always in a service industry, a service mindset to the max. When I tell you to be a custom designer for such high level clientele, it's service. And you've constantly given a lot of yourself in service. But with this coronavirus time, what is your routine now? What does your daily routine look like? How have you prioritized yourself daily? When do you wake up now? When do you start? When do you go to bed? What does that look like now?
Well, everything has calmed it's slowed down to meaning not just I'm working, but it's not the same pace. So mainly it's just like every morning I'm making sure that my social media is on point, that I'm making sure that my posts are ready. We've been diving into really looking into analytics. So it's a lot of things that have to do with getting up and really making sure that post is on point, first of all, a social media person. And the reason I know that we should do Planoly and all the things like a month ahead and all that, but when you're working at the level I've been working for the last couple of months since we relaunched, it's very tedious to make sure that we're tweaking what we're doing as we're going along right now in this beginning period of the relaunch, because we're doing analytics and seeing what's working.
Yeah.
So we have a weekly schedule that identifies the different aspects of what I want to put out. And I don't want to just sell to you. So Shaped by an Angel is a brand that inspires, uplifts, and transforms women.
Yeah.
So, and we just launched a Shape detox tea, which we just formulated a tea that's really great for you to detox. I'm working on a fat burning solution that you'll be able to put on and wrap yourself and put your shaper on and lose inches. So I'm doing other products. Why? My products are, my shapers are kind of high end. So they're from $149 to $189, right? But they're also so good that if you get one, or if you buy the whole line, you don't need them anymore unless you're not wearing them like underwear and you need to buy one for every day of the week for the month, right? But outside of that, they last. You could wash them. They'll last for years, right? So I identified that I needed to have other products that may be consumable or that you want to, that you need again and again. So the tea is something important, and we'll be establishing some other products. So those are the other parts of my day that I go into after I make sure all that is done, to start working on what is it, we're developing a cream that's going to have caffeine in it and shrink all your fat, all your flesh,
love that.
wrap your body. So I'm having a great
especially time. After these quarantine 30s.
It's also gratifying that, to deal with my customer service sometime with the women, talking to them on the phone and ensuring them that they're beautiful and, making sure they have the right size. So it's very tedious work that I never had to do before, but I'm learning that this is part of the process for an online store. And don't ever think that an online business that you're selling a product is easy. And that's another thing that's very important. I think that we need to understand, going from a creative perspective that I have been in, and now going to actually promote a product that I've created.
Yes.
It's a stretch of two different worlds. And so now I'm bouncing in both. And then trying to now figure out what I'm going to do when the herd is released. Because people are out. So I'm ready to get back to fashion and clothes. I was so grateful that I was able to spend this time with Shape by an Angel. So watch out for Dean's Sign. It's coming. I'm coming.
Love that. Love that. Love that. So what would you say you're most proud of in general?
I would say my family. I mean, you know, and I only say my family because, you know, I think about all the things that I could have done to not have one. Because trust, when I came out and what I did to go to school and all I was doing, honey, I was expecting I would have been flying to Paris somewhere and never coming back, right?
Man.
Eiffel Tower. But here comes a daughter named Tiffany Dean that kind of caused that and said, okay, I'm coming into your life right now. So what are you going to do, mommy, right? So, I had a daughter, you know, in the midst of all of that, which I really am glad that I did because my family is part of what keeps me strong and really supports me in what I do. And without them, I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
And I'm also proud of all the work that I've accomplished and contributed to the music and entertainment business. And one day I'll be able to highlight that work and, you know, do something that for myself, because one of the things that I did with Black Design Collective and the way we got started was I came up with the idea to honor Ruth Carter. And at the time, Ruth Carter was Ruth Carter, but she wasn't the infamous Oscar-winning Ruth Carter. So I don't know if I had some insight or whatever, but I encouraged them, let's do this, something special, because she has such an amazing body of work.
Yeah.
And no one knows the body of work. So I may be known for Madonna, but I have highest selling cover in the history of Essence. I have things that are in the Smithsonian Institute that clients have donated that'll be there for the rest of the world and time as long as we're living. So I've done a lot of amazing work and I really want to circle back around one day and really see myself get the accolades that I feel I want to before
the flowers you deserve.
I don't want to get the announcement that I'm not here anymore because I did tap a moment that it was, you know, a little touch and go there for a second.
Well, I look forward to being on whatever committee is giving you all the flowers.
Oh,
I know you definitely deserve.
Yeah, that works one day, right?
So we're on to the last, probably most important question of the day.
What could that be?
If you were a pair of shoes, which shoe would you be and why?
Oh, darling, I would have to be a pump, honey. I would have to be the fabulous pump. You know, the pump is classic. It's you know, it has a certain something special about it. When you put on the pump, you know that you arrived in the room, right?
Yeah, that is.
You know, but it's something timeless about a pump, you know.
I love that.
Something that's forever and never changing, you know. We may change a little fabric of color or a heel or whatever, but it's always that pump.
I love that. I love that. Classic pump.
Yes, that classic.
It definitely evolves through the changes of life and still stays classically amazing. I love that. And I love ending on that note just because it is you and we get to see it in a different way. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for helping create this platform. Thank you for all that you've done for not just the Black Design Collective, but fashion in of itself, globally, nationally, all of the things. I hope you continue to get more flowers because you deserve it. And I hope people check out your Shape by an Angel shapewear line because it makes you feel just as beautiful and as amazing as
starting next to the skin, right in that body, and I'm coming out from there. So keep your eye out. Design will be returning.
I love it. I love to hear.
Thank you, Miss Lady, for all your amazing work. And I knew when I spoke to you about doing this that you would be absolutely the perfect person. And I want to let you know that you have done an amazing job, Lola. Amazing. We're proud.
Thank you.
Design Collective to the end.
And for everyone watching, it's this woman that is the reason I'm here. So thank you.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes, I'm sure we will see the amazing works of you soon. But thank you again and have a lovely day.
All right. Thanks, Lola. Bye-bye.
Bye.